Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Leaders Are Learners Academy. My name is Kevin Wayne Johnson. I am the creator of this academy, and I am also the founder and the chief executive officer of the Johnson Leadership Group. I want to congratulate you for taking the time and taking the investment in yourself, in your career progression, as well as your leadership journey. And I am so grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule to stop by and take a look at the various master classes, lunch and learns, and keynote addresses that we have to help you along your way. Welcome to Put Your Dream to the Test. This is an opportunity for us to work together. You'll take a self assessment and you'll also take a look at your sphere of influence as it relates to your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations. And we have a combination of different tools for you that you'll find in the resources section there in the class. You'll find that there is a trifold brochure that gives you a deep and in-depth overview of the 10 questions that we will ask during our time together. You'll see that you have access to the PowerPoint slides, of course. You also have access to a number of different videos that we have for you. We have a video for you to look following question number 4 when we get into passion, and also another video for you to take a look once we get into question number 10 around significance. And then last but not least, once we're done with this particular masterclass, I have a bonus for you as well. And we have a video there as a part of the bonus section as well. You'll find the bonus material just below the 10 lesson plans that we'll spend our time going through. So this promises to be a good masterclass for you. We have lots of information, lots of content as we go through our agenda and our curriculum. Of course, you have a copy of your participant guide. I'll refer to it as that, as well as your handbook as well, where you can make notes. You can circle and underline and put an asterisk beside different phrases and words and sentences that will help you out. But this is really intended, put your dream to the test, to get you to really test that dream and that goal and that aspiration that you have, so that we can make sure that you grab a hold of it and run with it and bring it to reality. And that's really what this is all about. So let me direct your attention now to your participant guide, and you'll see there on page number 2, we're going to dive into a little introductory section as we move out throughout this particular course. And again, you have the luxury of pausing and stopping and even rewinding and going back and taking a fresh look at the curriculum that we will cover and all of the information that's really pertinent to the learning. You are in total and complete control. I am here to facilitate, but this is your class. So on that note, let's move right along and let's get started. So we're going to kick off with just really defining what this dream is all about. A dream is a picture and a blueprint of a person's purpose and potential. That's really what it is. Just sort of visualize in your mind and formulate a picture in your mind, which ultimately will develop into a blueprint of a person's purpose and potential. It all starts with a dream. That's why I mentioned earlier dreams, goals, and aspirations. And you'll see here on page number 2 in your participant guide, you'll see that we start out with an opening paragraph. And it just starts out with, my desire is to be like one of the encouraging teachers to you. And you'll see here at the very bottom of that paragraph, it ends by saying, here is my definition of a dream that can be put to the test and pass. A dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. So, a genuine dream is a picture and blueprint of a person's purpose and potential. And that's what's really key and what's really, really important as we go through our time together to kind of help us to understand. Now, also here on page number 2, at the very bottom of your participant guide, you'll see that there are 4 common reasons for not identifying your dreams. 4 reasons. So, number 1 is that some people have been discouraged from dreaming by others. Number 2, some people are hindered by past disappointments and hurt. Disappointment is the gap between expectation and reality. Now, number 3 is some people get in the habit of settling for average, just settling. Mediocrity, I'm average, that's the best I can do, etc. But those are all different reasons. And then number 4 is some people lack the confidence needed to pursue their dreams. And you'll see there at the top of page 3 the quote by Irma Bombeck. She says, "It takes a lot of courage to throw your dreams to someone else." So part of what we're doing together is helping each of you to not only understand your dream, but why we want to put it to the test. Because when it's all said and done, we have to take ownership of it and we have to be in control of it. We have to be able to validate and verify that, in fact, it is indeed our dream and we're not trying to live out the dreams of others. So, on that note, the question is now, are you ready to put your dream to the test? Because here are the 10 questions that we will be looking at together. And again, with a couple of these questions as a part of your lesson plan, we have embedded a couple of videos as well that we think will add value. So the first question is the ownership question. Is my dream really my dream? Number 2, the clarity question. Do I clearly see my dream? In other words, do you have vision to carry it forward? Number 3 is the reality question. Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? Number 4, the passion question. Does my dream compel me to follow it? Do I have zeal and enthusiasm to really make it happen? Number 5, the pathway question. Do I have a strategy to reach my dream? Number 6 is the people question. Have I included people I need to realize my dream? Number 7, the cost question. Am I willing to pay the price for my dream? It generally costs more than we project. That's just the reality of it all. Number 8 is the tenacity question. Am I moving closer to my dream? Number 9 is the fulfillment question. Does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? And then last but not least, as we bring home these 10 questions which will help us to test our dream, number 10 is the significance question. Does my dream benefit others? Because it can't always be just about us. All right, so recently we did a survey and we took a look at what we had determined to be highly successful leaders, right? And all of these leaders have a dream. So over to your left, you see the 100%. But interestingly enough, even though they were categorized as highly successful leaders in different categories in different ways, half of them actually gave up on their dream. Just gave up. Couldn't get it done, couldn't figure it out, walked away from it. Interesting. We don't want that to be you. Moving toward your right, you'll see that 95% actually kind of hung in there and they were able to accomplish a dream. And then all the way to your right, you'll see equally 95% were frustrated at times in pursuit of a dream. Now, that happens to all of us. I am a leadership development trainer, and I am a certified executive coach and mentor and speaker. And things do not always go in alignment with what we dream and what our goals are. But instead of giving up on it, I would much rather just be frustrated as a result of some of the results as opposed to just giving up. So these are good statistics and good data to hold on to as you go forward, because as we go through these questions, you'll really be able to see yourself in each of these different areas. So instead of giving up on your dream, as half of these successful leaders did, if you keep pressing and keep moving forward, although there is a high probability of frustration and perhaps confusion and being annoyed, when it's all said and done, if you hang in there, there's a 95% chance that you will be able to accomplish your dream. And so that's very important. And remember that as we go forward in this masterclass. So here are the 10 questions. And I just wanted to echo once again, let's start from the left bottom and we're going to work our way all the way around. So there's the ownership question, there's the clarity question, the reality question, the passion question, the pathway question, people, cost, tenacity, fulfillment, and significance. And in this masterclass, we will walk you through each of these 10, because what you're doing is you're testing the dream. Is it really yours? Are you passionate about it? Are you following the right avenues and the right role? Have you added the right people? Is the cost in alignment with what I projected it to be? Am I tenacious and do I have perseverance in pursuit of the dream? Is it fulfilling to me? And is it significant? Am I helping other people along the journey? These are all of the different ways that we'll look at as a part of our masterclass. So let's take a look at the very first one. The first one is ownership. We'll go through each of these. And again, as we go through these, take your time, take diligent notes, pause, go back and review. Remember, the participant guide is yours. The trifold brochure is yours. The PowerPoint presentation is yours. Just feel free to take full advantage of all of the information and all of the content. You'll have a chance to go back and look at the videos as well, because that will reinforce a lot of what we're learning together. So you'll see here on page number 4, chapter number 1, page 4, the ownership question: is my dream really my dream? So over on the left side, you have a diagram, and over on the left side, you have a diagram. And you can feel free to just go ahead and populate the blanks, because everything is provided for you right here on this particular slide. On the left, we're asking you to really take a look. When somebody else owns your dream, these are the things that typically happen to us based on research, based on data, based on surveys, based on questionnaires. Different men and women at all different levels in the organization have come back to say, this is what happens when someone else owns your dream. In other words, we don't really move out on what it is we want to do. We're pretty much in alignment with what someone else thinks we should do. Conversely, on the right side, as you can see, there is a big difference. See, now you own your dream. And when you take ownership and when you grab a hold of it, it means something much different. So now this is what's happening when you own your dream versus on the left side when someone else owns your dream. So there on page 4, you have the opportunity to fill in that information and it will add value to what we're talking about and how it ultimately will make you feel as you pursue your dream. Now, taking ownership requires some of these steps that we have to take because there's always going to be action that's involved with any dream that we have. So we have the blueprint in our mind, but now we have to take steps to make it happen. So you'll see here on page number 5, you have to be willing to bet on yourself. Secondly, you have to lead your life instead of accepting your life. Next, you have to love what you do and do what you love. That's why you see love there in those blocks. It makes a big difference. You have to absolutely love what you do to the point where you would do it for free, but fortunately, you do get paid for it. Next one, number 4, at the top of page 6, don't compare yourself or your dream to others. You are unique. There is no other you. You are the only one, and you have the assignment that has been given to you to make things happen in the very unique way that only you can do it. You'll see here in the middle of page number 6, you'll see what we call the 18-40-60 rule. And what happens here is that when you're 18, you worry about what everyone is thinking about you. When you're 40, you don't give a darn what anybody thinks about you. And when you're 60, you realize nobody has been thinking about you at all. That's what's really interesting about the journey. But under the note here, when you compare yourself with those superior, you will feel inferior. When you compare yourself with inferior, you feel superior. And when you stop comparing with others, you feel empowered. And that's awesome. That's what it's all about. And then here toward the bottom of page number 6, you'll see over to the far right, believe in your vision for the future even when others don't understand you. Very, very key and very, very powerful. Makes a huge difference in the life of all of us as we pursue those goals and as we chase after that dream. So here's the next one, the clarity question. And that is, do I clearly see the dream? You see a couple of quotes there at the top of your page. I really like the one from Mike Hyatt. He says, if you have a clear vision, you will eventually attract the right strategy. If you don't have a clear vision, no strategy will save you. All right? So feeling, sensing, seeing, hearing, and thinking is all about clarifying what that dream is because purpose affirmed equals priorities determined. Very interesting, very dynamic, just in terms of how we think day in and day out. Now, let's take a look here on page number 8. You'll see where it says clarity comments. So let's take a look at the first one. So a clear dream makes a general idea very specific. And just under that is a quote by Ben Stein. Ben Stein reminds us that the indispensable first step to getting the things you want out of life is this: decide what you want. That's it right there. Decide what you want. So you see here that we have on the left fantasizers, and what we have on the right are dream builders. Okay? So Fantasy Island kind of breaks down what happens when you take a look at these various bullets. And dream builders, those that are really, really moving out on their dream, as you can see, it's a much different result. Specifically, under dream builders, you see that it leads to action, actually doing something. And that's really, really key. It ties into initiate, and it helps us to rely on discipline as well. But on the fantasizers page, you see it kind of breeds isolation, trying to do things on your own without help, and causes us to wait, and we put the responsibility on others instead of on ourselves. And that's the big difference. That's the big difference. Again, on page 8 at the very bottom of the page, you sort of see under general idea and specific idea. And so clarifying the dream is the difference maker. Instead of being general, let's be very specific and clarifying exactly what that dream is. And now it makes a big difference, because if I just want to go outside for a jog, then that's fine. But if I want to go outside and I want to be able to run 2 miles in less than 30 minutes, that's much more specific. And it gives me a goal that's also measurable and achievable as well. Take a look over on the next page, page number 9, and you'll see where it says a clear dream doesn't become clear without effort. So again, it's sort of the action plan, if you would. And so we have a series of questions here that we want you to think about and ponder. The first question is, what am I feeling? Second question is, what am I sensing? The next question is, what am I seeing? Next question is, what am I hearing? And then lastly, what am I thinking? That was on the previous slide that you saw with the young lady that had the light bulb over her head. Feeling, sensing, seeing, hearing, and thinking. Number 3 is a clear dream affirms your purpose. Number 4, a clear dream determines your priority. And then number 5 is already written out for you here on the bottom of page number 9. A clear dream gives direction and motivation to the team. Absolutely. Just being clear, being very clear. Add clarity to your dream, and that will be part of the difference maker. All right, here's question number 3. Question number 3 is the reality question. Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? Reality is the enemy of fantasies, but not of dreams. Making it real. Make sure that it is a dream that you and I can actually accomplish. You'll see here that we have fantasizers versus dream builders. On page number 3, I'm sorry, chapter 3, page number 10. And that's the piece that we just took a look at to sort of help you through this journey. But take a look here on the left, the law of least effort versus what's on the right, consistent good results. So we believe that maximum effort plus maximum strength equals a maximum return. Maximum effort and maximum strength equals maximum efforts. And that's why you see the check marks there over to your right under consistent good results. You have your checklist, And now you're able to check them off because we have applied maximum effort and maximum strength to get to the maximum return. So here's a reality roadmap that will help us to get there. Now, on page number 11 in your participant guide, right here in the middle, be mindful that the more unrealistic your dream, the more you will be tempted to depend upon things you cannot control to make it become a reality. So, things that you can't control, now you're trying to implement because the goal was unrealistic in the first place. All right? So take a look here at what you have in front of you. So we're going to start at a certain place. This is the roadmap. And we want to determine what you do naturally and then inject habits. Now you can realize the potential and then ultimately realize the dream. Because reality is the foundation of your dream. It has to be real and you have to believe in it, and it has to be achievable and realistic. So at the bottom of page number 11, number 1 says, building on your strengths activates the law of least effort. It activates it, right? Just building on your strengths. Over on page number 12, number 2 says, building on your strengths enables consistently good results. And as we saw on the previous slide, maximum effort and maximum strength equal maximum return. Absolutely. Now, there's a question there in the middle of the page on page number 12, and the question is, do I have the right habits to achieve my dream? And toward the bottom there, the goal then is to match your habits with your dream. That's why here, right in the middle, we mention inject habits. Match your habits with your dream. Those things that you really enjoy doing that come secondhand, it kind of comes naturally because you've developed habits. Inject those into your dream and it will be a difference maker. So as you see here on page number 12, it lines up with what's here on your reality roadmap. And as you can see at the very bottom, reality is the foundation of your dream. It most certainly is. It absolutely is. No doubt about it. So make sure that your dream is real and that it is something that you know in your heart that you can accomplish. All right. Now, the next question really gets down to how passionate and how much zeal and enthusiasm do you have around your dream? So the passion question is, does my dream compel me to follow it? Look at Steve Jobs at the very top of the page, his quote, Apple Computer. If you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Absolutely. So what's happening here is that by being passionate about your dream, it helps us to overcome adversity. It gives initiative and it also increases the odds for success. And that's why you see success there written the way that it is, because that's the difference maker, being able to actually write it down and following it through, and it makes a big, big, big difference in our lives. So, passion pulls us up. Passion pulls us out. And passion pulls us well. And on page number 14, you can see that we have some ideas for you to consider. There are 10 of them as it relates to what we call my passion maker. So Number 10 is my passion is so hot that it sets other people on fire. Now that's really significant and that's very, very important. And what I would like for you to do is read through those 10 and think about it. Go back and read over it again. Make sure that you come in alignment with it because it's so key and it's so important to everything that we're doing in this process. It makes a huge difference. So take your time to review those 10 and think about that dream that you have. And you might want to just really, really think about adding those 10 to what it is that you're doing and what you want to do, because in essence, you are now putting your dream to the test. All right, go over to page 15. Here's question number 5, and it has to do with pathway. The pathway question: do I have a strategy to reach my dream? So, one of the world's most sought after, followed, and passionate motivational speakers, Les Brown, he reminds us that we must look for ways to be an active force in our lives. We must take charge of our own destinies, design a life of substance, and truly begin to live our dreams. I firmly believe in that. You and I have to just make a conscious effort that we are going to live our dreams. Because you see here on page number 15, there is no magic power in having a dream. You can't just wait for it. You have to work for it. And we also have some very interesting statistics for you to take a look at. This goes back a number of years, but there were some results that were published by an organization called Think TQ, a training and publishing organization. And it really got into some of the details about how infrequently people develop strategies around achieving their dreams. And what's interesting is we've provided some analysis and statistics for you to look at and read through. And when you get an opportunity, you can also do some research on Think TQ as well to get some more updated information. But it's really amazing how many people don't actually meet or fulfill their dreams because they don't follow along with some of these steps. And when you do, you'll start to see a difference. Just embrace it and walk in it and continue to go forward. And it does make a difference in all of our lives. So look at this word here on the PowerPoint slide: secure. All right. So the S, state all of your positions. We're on page number 16. State all of your positions. And just under that, you'll see number 1 is my present position. Number 2 is my future position. And then number 3 are the positions in between. The positions in between, we ask the question: what steps must I take to get from my present position to my future one? All right. Look at the bottom of page 16, and you'll see also here on your PowerPoint where it says examine all of your actions. On page 17 at the top, consider all of your options. The next one is utilize all of your resources. Next is remove all non-essentials, those things that aren't really that important as it relates to you being able to achieve your dream. There comes a time and a place where you just have to just move some of that information and some of those priorities off of your plate so that you'll be able to really focus on that driveway, that roadway that you're on, i.e., the pathway. And then last but not least, embrace all of your challenges, because there will be challenges along the way. Kevin Wayne Johnson will never tell you that it's easy, but that it is doable. And there's a big difference between the two. It's not easy, but it is doable. So embrace those challenges. We'll be able to get through all of those together. So here's the next one, very, very important. Now, all of these are very important. They really are. They're equally important. They're not in any particular order. But bringing people into your life to be able to help you to achieve that dream is very, very, very important. We're on page number 18, and look at the quote by Andrew Carnegie at the very top of the page. Because, see, the people question is this: have I included the people I need to realize my dream? It marks a big step in your development when you come to realize that other people can help you do a better job than you can do alone. That's the key, and that's the difference maker. So, my dream team includes people who inspire me, who are honest with me, and whose skills complement me. Because here in the middle of the page, some people have a dream but no team. Their dream is impossible. Some people have a dream but a bad team. Their dream is a nightmare. Some people have a dream and are building a team. Their dream has potential. Some people have a dream and a great team. Their dream is inevitable. So it is very key and very important. Bring the right people into your space and into your place, because it makes a huge difference in terms of being able to accomplish the dream or just continue to just flounder and not be able to really achieve the dream. Over on page number 19, you'll see here that at the middle of the page, my dream team includes people who inspire me. My dream team includes people who are honest with me, and my dream team includes people whose skills complement me. We just saw that on the previous slide. Now, dream transference. So, this is how we make things happen relative to our dream. A leader discovers the dream and then finds the people. The followers find the leader and then find the dream. So take a look at these three areas. The dream must be transferred. So it must be logical, emotional, and visual. And that's what each of these different visuals help us to understand, because the pieces of the puzzle have to fit for it to be logical. We have to be able to bring a team of people together so that we can share our emotions. And then we have to be able to see it. That's why you have the picture of the eye under visual. You have to be able to actually see it so that we can realize it, almost touch it as we come in alignment with it to make it all happen. And so this is really what it's all about. And on page number 20, as you can see, right in the middle, under emotionally, we have some more information, some more content for you to consider, and it's this: show them the dream from your perspective. Because after all, like we talked about with number one, ownership, you own it. So help them to see the dream from your perspective, and then that'll help them to also see it from their perspective as well. When you communicate your perspective because you own it, now it'll help them to see it from their perspective. Number two, show them your heart. Be transparent, right? Show them your heart. To transfer the dream emotionally, you need to let people see your heart and see your hope, because sharing your heart tells the story. And that's what's really key about this particular question, to make it all come together, because that's really what it's all about: bringing people onto your team and bringing the right people onto your team as well. Number 7, I said at the outset, it's going to usually cost you a little bit more money than you projected. So question number 7 is the cost question, and that is, am I willing to pay the price for my dream. Now, it's not always about money per se. It also costs you time. It's going to be some sacrifice and some commitment, effort. I mean, all of that is part of the cost. But if you take a look at the quote here at the top of page 21, it says, always remember that striving and struggle precedes success, even in the dictionary. That's a good quote. I like that one. Even in the dictionary. So there's going to be a little bit of struggle along the way, but that's okay. Like we said earlier in the survey with the key executives, successful executives, don't give up on that dream. It might be frustrating, but don't give up on it. So look here over to your left and also on page 21 in your participant guide. So the dream is free, but the journey isn't. The price must be paid sooner than you think. The price will be higher than you expect. Because generally speaking, we do take the time to formulate a budget when it comes to the financial resources that may be needed to make the dream a reality. There's all types of hidden costs that are embedded in it. Just keep pressing, and over time, you'll be able to generate enough revenue and you'll be able to find enough time to make it happen. But it's a process and it's a journey. At the top of page 22, the price must be paid more than once. And then number 5, it is possible to pay too much for your dream. So again, that's the importance of making sure that we own that dream and we're not doing it for other people, but we're doing it because it's reality to us. These are part of the questions and part of the introspection and the assessment that you take as a part of your leadership journey and your career progression, because it has to be your dream, because it is possible to pay too much for your dream. That is possible. It could potentially happen. Now, here on page 22 in the middle of the page, so here are some payments everybody pays to pursue their dream. Number 1, the price of dealing with criticism from people who matter. That everybody doesn't get it, everybody doesn't see it, and so we're going to be criticized. And you take a look at the first bullet there under number 1. You are unconditionally loved by the person who criticizes you. They love you, but they think they know best for you. The second bullet is the criticism is not tainted by his or her personal agenda. Number 3, the person is not naturally critical of everything. The fourth bullet, the person will continue giving support after giving advice. And then the last bullet is he or she has knowledge and success in the area of the criticism. So these are all areas that you can give credence and you can actually listen to the critic, but we have to be able to deal with the price of criticism. But remember now, you and I are unconditionally loved by the person given the criticism. That's when we listen. They're not tainted by their own personal agenda. They're not naturally critical of everything. And they will give support after giving their advice. And typically, they do have knowledge and success in the areas that they're criticizing us. So we can take it at heart and keep pressing. Number 2 there at the bottom of page 22 is that the price of overcoming your fears. The price of overcoming your fears. And then over on page number 23, number 3 is the price of hard work. Now, under number 2, there's a nice paragraph of information that you can read through. There's a quote by Michael Ignatieff, and you can kind of take that to heart as it relates to this particular area and this particular question. But under number 3, the price of hard work, let me walk you through these different areas that what I want you to really get into your heart and mind I will do more than is how each of these statements start. I will do more than. And the first one is this: I will do more than belong, I will participate. The next one is I will do more than care, I will help. The next one is I will do more than believe, I will practice. The next one, I will do more than be fair, I will be kind. The next one, I will do more than forgive, I will forget. We're talking about the price of hard work. The next one, I will do more than dream, I will work. The next one, I will do more than teach, I will inspire. After that, I will do more than earn, I will enrich. Next, I will do more than give, I will serve. And I'll ask you to underline that one or highlight it or put an asterisk next to that. The best thing that you and I can do in our career progression and in our leadership journey is to serve others. That's really where the true fulfillment comes. Next to last, I will do more than live, I will grow. And then lastly, and these are not in any particular order, so there's not one more important than the other, I will do more than suffer, I will triumph. These are all really, really good lessons for us to apply and answer each of these different areas as we walk through Put Your Dream to the Test. All right, here's number 8, the tenacity question. Am I moving closer to my dream? So that's what the arrow going to the north represents. And you'll see the dream there in the cloud on your left. Or are we going to quit? So it opens up with a paragraph, a statement here referencing President Woodrow Wilson. And this is all about, am I moving closer to my dream? That's what this whole piece here is all about. And so, as you can see here, we're talking about doing a few things. So, on page number 24, it says here to move closer to your dream, recognize that quitting is more about who you are than where you are. Okay? Recognize that quitting is more about who you are than where you are. Look at Paul Harvey's quote. You can tell you're on the road to success. It's uphill all the way. That's why we can't quit. We can get frustrated, we can get confused, and get mad, but don't quit. All right? At the bottom of the page, you'll see here 24, to move closer to your dream, improve your vocabulary. You'll see that on the left here in your PowerPoint slide as well. Improve your vocabulary. This is what tenacity is all about. You know, I have a saying that learners are readers, just like I believe that leaders are learners. But the more we read, the more we gravitate toward white papers and articles and books and magazines and newspapers, of which I am a huge fan. I do a lot of reading. We have a chance to definitely improve our vocabulary and get even better and more tenacious at what we're doing. Look at the top of page 25. You'll see we'll have a couple of diagrams here. On the left, the can't, and on the right, the can do. So notice the difference in the following phrases. And there's quite a few bullets there that we add for you. But if you have that can't do attitude, then you're promoting pessimism and negativity into your mind and into your heart. Whereas if you have that can do attitude over on your right, you'll see now that we are interjecting positivity and a better attitude about the dream that we're pursuing. And it does make a big difference. At the bottom of the page, you'll see to move closer to the dream, recognize that waiting for everything to be. All right. And it says here that right is wrong. And we have to be careful with that. So to move closer to your dream, recognize that waiting for everything to be right is wrong. Everything is not going to be right. In other words, as you can see here on your image, everything isn't going to be perfect. It just doesn't work that way. We wish it did, but it just doesn't work that way. So remain tenacious, continue to persevere, continue to move forward in that dream. You have what it takes. The potential is within you, and you can get it done. All right, take a look at the top of page 26. You have some additional information there for you as we continue with those bullets from number 3. Number 4 is this: to move closer to your dream, change your thinking. And that's what you see here on the PowerPoint slide to the right. Just change your thinking. John Wooden was a award-winning, multiple-time NCAA basketball men's Division I champion at the University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA. They won multiple championships, and John Wooden reminds us that things turn out best for the people who make the best out of the way things turn out. Absolutely. So, life isn't always going to hand you lemons, but you can take those lemons and you can make some lemonade if you add the right ingredients. And that's the way we have to look at it. So we have to be tenacious. It continues. There's that dream again. And we have to continue here on page number 26. So to move closer to your dream, recognize that the resources for your dream stop the moment you do. So tap into those resources. Again, library, internet, training courses, workshops, seminars, masterclasses, keynote addresses, lunch and learns. There's a number of different resources at your fingertips so that we can get better and improve, but it all stops the moment you do. All right? Look at the next one. To move closer to your dream, practice the rule of 5. That's right here in the middle. And the rule of 5 goes as follows: if you do every day to a large tree and take 5 swings at it with a very sharp axe, eventually, no matter how large the tree is, it would have to come down. So that's the rule of 5. Just keep going for it every day. 5 things toward your dream every day, and you'll get closer and closer and closer. And the analogy here is for the tree, regardless of how large it is, if you keep at it every day 5 times with a very sharp axe, eventually it will go down. Doesn't say exactly when, but eventually it will. And then number 7 is to move closer to your dream. Remember that when you have exhausted all possibilities, you haven't. And that's what's really key and really interesting and fundamental about this particular diagram, is that you'll see here that, look at that. Look at that plant flourishing in the middle of the drought, right? You see a couple of other plants around it. But where there's a will, there's a way. And that's what this one is all about. So continue to be tenacious and move forward on your dream. Number 9 is fulfillment. You'll see on page 27, we have a diagram for you to take a look at. You'll see over on the x-axis, you'll see effort going to the right, and on the y-axis, you'll see results going up toward the north, and then there's a little dip there in the middle. So as you continue to move forward on your dream, initially you'll go up, but then as you come into the reality of the cost and being tenacious and whether you own it and being on the right pathway, etc., there might be a dip, but if you stick to it, you'll see that it goes up north again in the right direction as you get closer and closer and closer to your dream. So, this is really intended to share with us the reality of moving out on our dream. You have what it takes to do it, just stick with it and keep making it happen. So, number one here on page number 27 is fulfilled people understand the difference between the dream and its realization. So, ideals represent what could happen if everything was perfect, and actuals reveal what will happen because everything is not perfect. So, that's the actual, and that's the reality of it all. All right, on page number 28, toward the top, fulfilled people understand the size of the dream determines the size of the gap or dip. Number three, fulfilled people appreciate each step in the journey. Every step. You'll see that there on the left hand side, appreciation for every step of the journey. And then John Wooden again reminds us of some of the key strategies and principles that he used back when he was coaching at UCLA. And a lot of these strategies and principles, he was able to bring the right people together at the same time to make the dream a reality. And that's really what it's all about. We're putting the dream to the test. Look at number four. Fulfilled people make new discoveries while living in the gap. And that's what the light bulb, well, the illuminated light bulb represents, is that now that we have discovered this in the gap, while we're discovering our dream and living out our dream, we're making new discoveries. And then here at the bottom of page 28, fulfilled people buy into the natural law of balance. Both is good and bad. Life is both good and bad. And that's what that represents. And then this particular question around fulfillment sort of ends with you being able to read something by the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, in terms of how he was able to recognize and acknowledge both the good as well as the bad in life, but when it's all said and done, to be fulfilled as a part of our dream. And here, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, again, not in any particular order, but all very, very important because we're talking about putting your dream to the test. Very important. Significance. How significant is it? Because when it's all said and done, we should be about serving others, making ourselves available to serve others. I used to watch Jacques Cousteau when I was a young boy and into my teenage years. And he reminds us that if a man, for whatever reason, has the opportunity to lead an extraordinary life, he has no right to keep it to himself. And I remember I used to watch the documentaries on television growing up of Jacques Cousteau out there in the ocean, um, discovering new sea life and animals under the sea. It was really, really fascinating. And it gets to the question around significance. Does my dream benefit others? And I still remember it vividly many, many decades ago. And it was so uplifting, and I couldn't wait to watch it every week. But here are some things we want you to consider as you look at significance. At the bottom of page number 30, I want to do something significant for myself. Number two, I want to do something significant for others. And then lastly, I want to do something significant with others. And so it gets into these five areas that we often talk about and we often communicate as we talk about put your dream to the test. And that is this. We want you to, first of all, dare to dream. And then we want you to prepare the dream. And then that follows with wearing the dream. So wear the dream. In other words, have that dream to be written all over you. Number four, repair the dream, because every now and again we'll have to make modifications and revisions and amendments to continue to move forward. Things change. Technology came on the scene, and all different types of things happen all the time. And then once it's all done, once you dare to dream and once you prepare the dream, and then wear the dream, and then make the necessary repairs to the dream, now we want you to share the dream. And that's what's really key. And that's what really brings us fulfillment, because now we're bringing other people into the picture, the right people, as a part of our dream team. So, dare the dream, prepare the dream, wear the dream, repair the dream, and then last but not least, share the dream. Let everyone know what it is you're dreaming about. Have them to come in alignment with the vision, and perhaps they can join the team and help us to make it come to pass. So I want to thank you so very much for your attention, and I want to congratulate you again for taking the time to invest in yourself, in your future, your leadership journey. As always, if you have any questions about anything that I've covered, any information at all, feel free to reach out by email to the Johnson Leadership Group at gmail.com, the Johnson Leadership Group at gmail.com. And again, go back and review the material, put it on pause, even stop, take a look at your notes, take a look at the PowerPoint slides, take a look at the videos. That will definitely be a help. After number 4, passion, there's a great video there. And then after number 10, significance, there's another wonderful video for you there as well, as we go through our time together and we have an opportunity to understand all the material that is before us. Now, just before we close out, I have a bonus for you. And this is the bonus that we talked about at the beginning of our time together. You'll see that there is a handout in your resources section right under where it says bonus, and it's called Breakthroughs That Build Your Dream. Breakthroughs That Build Your Dream. It's a 3-page document. It is your handout, and I want to walk you through these breakthroughs that build your dream. So once you have that document in front of you, I will walk you through these. It's simply entitled Breakthroughs That Build Your Dream. And then in addition to the handbook, there's also a bonus video that we've provided for you as well, simply entitled Are You a Leader? And pay close attention to the words that you see that are populated on your screen along with the narration. It'll help you to be a much better leader as you continue in your leadership journey. And then in addition to that, I'll be sharing with you breakthroughs that build your dream. Now, at the very top of the handout on page number 2, it says breakthroughs. These are events that mold us and move us forward. That's what a breakthrough is. They mold us and move us forward. So let's take a look at these 8 breakthroughs that build your dream. There are 8. The first one is groundbreaker. This encouraged me to start. You'll never finish until you start. You'll never be able to move out on that dream and accomplish it until you start. Number 2 is icebreaker. This encouraged me to share. And so the question is listed there for you in your handout after each of these different areas, because there's a question again. In addition to the 10 questions that help you to put your dream to the test, We also have an additional 8 questions that ask you about specifically your dream. So, number 3 is windbreaker. This encouraged me to stand. Number 4 is cloud breaker. This encouraged me to grow. Now, let's go back and take a look at these first 4. There are a total of 8, but let's take a look at the first 4. Number 1 is groundbreaker because this encouraged me to start. So I could only add value to others if I had something of value to add. So then the question becomes, what is the groundbreaker of my dream? Number 2 is icebreaker. This encouraged me to share. Now we're bringing others into the picture, and the others that I was to add value to were leaders. And so that leads us to the question, what is the icebreaker of my dream? The third breakthrough is this windbreaker. This encouraged me to stand. Put your dream to the test. The people question: have I included people that I need to realize my dream? Because we won't get there on our own. We need to be surrounded by all of these different people who have different levels of expertise and energy and drive to help us to achieve the dream. So the question is, what are the windbreakers of my dream? And then number 4 again is cloudbreaker, and that is this encouraged me to grow. And because leaders are learners and because leaders are readers, we are always in a space and a place where we are interested in growing. Our thirst and hunger to grow never ends. The dream is birthed, then it grows. And so the question becomes, what is the cloud breaker of my dream? All right, so let's look at number 5 through 8. Here's number 5. Tiebreaker. This encouraged me to serve. And again, service is what really gives us joy and fulfillment in life. I mean, it really, really does, because we take focus off of ourselves so that we can serve other people. Helping leaders be successful became more important than my personal success. Absolutely. So the question is, what is the tiebreaker of my dream? Number 6, chart breaker. This encouraged me to soar. Helping leaders help leaders compounds my dream. Goes back to the law of significance. Now, the law of significance can be found in one of our other lunch and learns and also one of our other master classes that has to do with the invaluable laws of growth, where we walk through 15 different invaluable laws of growth. And the law of significance happens to be one of those. We get into it with much more detail in our master class, but it's all about the fact that one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Again, kind of echoing it again, we can't do it on our own. We need all the help we can get. And so it's important to surround yourself with really, really good people. So the question is, what is the chart breaker of my dream? Number 7 is heartbreaker. This encouraged me to stop. If we get our hearts broken, we can stop and take a pause, take a deep breath, recalibrate, and perhaps start over again. But taking care of myself allows me to take care of others. Self-care, self-awareness. And the question is, what is the heartbreaker of my dream? And then last but not least, number 8, we're talking about breakthroughs that build your dream, is record breaker. This encourages me to smile. Right? Now, I've been doing my best to smile during our entire time together because I just love what I do. And my goal and my hope is that you ultimately get to a space and a place where you love what you do as well. But after years of trying my dream, I have now discovered that my dream made me. What is the record breaker of my dream? Right? Just makes you smile. When you see those breakthroughs as it relates to things that you really enjoy doing, and you start to see the various successes and the accomplishments and things start to happen as a result of your action plan, it's powerful and it means a lot. So, again, thank you all so very much for your investment in this masterclass. I'm hopeful that you'll walk away with lots of tips and tools and nuggets, strategies and principles to help you in your career progression as well as your leadership journey. It's been a pleasure spending some time with you. Go back and take a look at all of the lesson plans, take a look at the bonus section, take a look at the videos, review the participant handbook and the PowerPoint slides, pause, take breaks in between, and absorb as much of the information as you possibly can. And again, if you have any questions on anything at all that we covered, I can be reached at the Johnson Leadership Group at gmail.com. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.